Chebet, Executive Secretary, Kericho County. This dialogue on CBC, education dialogue, is much more welcomed in Kericho County. Actually, we are happy as the stakeholders of education. This is a great opportunity for us to know what we expect for grade 10, 11 and 12. Actually, if you ask me, I'll say this should have happened like yesterday. This thing should have come earlier, even last year, so that as teachers go to class, as they prepare for the retooling, then they already know what is expected of them. The pathways that are there, we all appreciate the different pathways. We know that if these learners are well prepared for the transition into the pathways, then things are going to work well. We also see a situation whereby teachers have not been retooled up to now. The senior secondary school teachers are supposed to have been retooled in preparation for the grade 10 that we are looking forward to implementing by next year. There is also an issue that is coming up about the content of the learning material, that it is too high for the learners, for the level of learners. Again, we also feel that every time as we continue implementing, there are issues like this curriculum is a very expensive curriculum. Learning and teaching materials that are required to implement this curriculum are very many, and it requires money. So we are calling upon the Ministry of Education to also consider the issue of capitation, so that they improve the capitation, bring it in time, and even improve the percentages that are delivered to schools. This will enable a smooth transition from 844 to CBC. Really, as we look at the subjects that are going to be taught today, I'm learning that physical education, for example, is going to be a compulsory subject. We see the level of preparedness in the teachers. We believe that a teacher who is trained to teach a particular subject is going to be more competent than a teacher who is just going to train or to teach what they have not been trained in. So matters, some subjects that are going to be taken compulsory, the preparedness of the teachers is really questionable. So we are welcoming this CBC. We are ready to implement it, but we as the stakeholders, we require the ministry to work hand in hand with the schools and ensure that the teachers are well retooled in good time, that the subjects that are being taught are also relooked into, and the preparedness of teachers, the training colleges to take up the compulsory subjects and train more teachers in those compulsory subjects. That is what I will ask for as Mary Rotich. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Arbitis Langat. I'm visually impaired, and I'm representing persons with disabilities in this particular meeting on CBC program under the Ministry of Education. What I can just say is that Ministry of Education is doing a greater job. They are trying their best in conjunction with the KICD and the TSC. They are really doing a great job to make sure that this program is rolled in a right manner. Me as a person with disability, I love to say that CBC is disability centered. It is a good program, although persons with disabilities are very expensive, and the facilities that are supposed to be used for the smooth rolling of this program are also expensive. So the only challenge that I can see with this CBC program for us persons with disability is the equipments, availability of materials, and even challenges in learning areas, because most of the learning areas are more of practicals than theory. And these practicals need teaching learning materials, which are not easily available. They are supposed to be modified, they are supposed to be innovated, they are supposed to be improvised, and even they are supposed to be provided even from outside the country. So what I can only say that let's come in, let's look for more funders, more sponsors, well-wishers to come and support special education in this particular program. If at all the government is going to work alone on this journey, it is going to be a bit challenging. We need more support to provide for the special learners. Otherwise, we are still learning a lot. We are still getting more information on transition process. And as we go ahead, we will be able to give more resolutions on how we can work together, and then we can work with the government, and the government we can support the government as a whole, so that this program can be rolled in a smooth way. Otherwise, I don't have much to say.
I am David Bore, the NAT Executive Secretary Kipkelion, as well as also NAT Secretary Kericho Chapter. I want to thank the Ministry of Education in collaboration with the Teacher Service Commission for a very well organized dialogue in terms of CPC that was held today. This was the right thing that should have been done. It is something that should have started with, because as we talk now, CPC is with us. The stakeholders are happy, and as Kenya National Union of Teachers, we want to take this special opportunity to thank the ministry and all those concerned for work well done, say that we have known how CPC is moving, we have known how placement will be done, among many other issues that are there. However, there is still a lot of challenge that CPC is experiencing, especially the shortage of learning and teaching resources in our schools. We know that the government took over the supply of books and other learning materials directly from Nairobi, and it is sad to know that the publishers have taken that opportunity to even supply books which are not necessary and other learning materials. On top of that, we urge the government to ensure that capitation funds are dispersed on time to enable the head teachers and the principals to run the schools in a good way, to run it effectively, because without funds, little shall be realized. At the same time, we call upon the Parliament to put in place and pass the sessional paper number 10 of 2024. Which was presented by the Presidential Working Party on education reforms. This has been overtaken by events, and there are a lot of issues within the junior school, so that the running of the junior schools can be done in a better way. We are happy that the heads of institutions have managed to run it up to now, that we are expecting the grade 9 to sit for an exam and transit into the next level of education, that is the senior secondary school. But there is a lot to be done, because administration of the junior schools should be part of the primary schools, so as to bring the uniformity in the management of all the schools. It is also sad that the teachers who were deployed from the primary to teach in the junior secondary schools, those who were administrators were made to relinquish their positions, and they are now teaching the junior schools as just assistant teachers, yet they were deputies initially. We call upon the Teacher Service Commission to review the same, because this category of teachers had already earned the grade, and they are in a position to run as deputies of both the junior and the primary sector. We wish all the teachers the best, and we believe as we now move into full swing to the senior secondary school, teachers will be well retooled, and learning materials and disbursement of funds shall be done so as to make the CPC a success. Otherwise, as it is now, we embrace CPC. It is a good program. Thank you.
Sign language, because it's a constitutional requirement, so any other learner can learn that sign and they are able to fit in the world. My sister who's signing here, it's because she did sign language. Anyone who's interested, then we offer that as well. And then we have brought on board Mandarin on board. So because of where the world is going to be, if you look at the Chinese in our country and all over the world and the economy that they are carrying, and they're investing in our country, we don't want our children to be left behind. We want our children to then get into that. It talks about local and global citizenship. How do we prepare our children to become citizens who fit in the entire world? Then the third pathway is known as the STEM pathway, is the technical studies. Now the technical studies seems to be carrying a lot of weight in the country we live today. In fact, if we are actually achieving Vision 2030, SDG that talks about blue oceans so that we prepare our learners to exploit those resources in a meaningful way, but media technology as well, because body in the Tibet world, when we were developing the curriculum, with the labor people on board. So there will also a structure that would allow them to get labor-ready skills. And we have been talking to the polytechnics, to the technical institutions, so that we see that those skills. And that is one of the things that is a paradigm shift from what we know. As I conclude, that is just go to the next. As I conclude, that is 10, 2026, then 2027, then in grade 11, 2028, then we have the first cohort at the apex of grade 12. And we will have phased out all learners for 844. When 844 was conceptualized, it was meeting the needs of the country in 1985. How many years down the line, from the way 844 is, but we had to look at now, what is it that the labor market requires? How can we move our children so that they are able to fit into the 21st century? Hence, the change. So let's not compare the two systems. It serves its purpose, and we are happy about it. When changes happen, we also change. The kind of clothes you're wearing today are not the clothes that were worn in 1985. There's nothing wrong with the way you are. What you were wearing that time? It's because that was the situation. With all those many remarks, thank you very much for listening.
A continuous process that, as we are going to see, it will start with selection, it will go to placement. All our stakeholders, especially the learner whose need is satisfied. That will provide kind of a bridge to enter into each of the bridges where their interests will be taken care of. Those who wish to pursue social sciences will take 27, and also the sector policy for learners and trainees we are looking into the state-based learning pathway. So that is why we are saying we are taking into account the policy on trainees and persons with disabilities. So these are the guys that the state-based pathway learners are also well taken care of. And above it all, in the as we talk about selection, placement, we really wish that the overview of pathways, like I have said, it was drawn from by Subira. So as we move from junior